Today we get to interview Payal Doshi, author of Rea and the Blood of the Nectar. Today's episode is in two parts. The first part where we get to know more about Payal, and the second part where we'll hear more about Rea and the Blood of the Nectar.
Hi guys, I'm Payal Doshi, the author of Rea and the Blood of the Nectar. I'm originally from India. I grew up in Mumbai and I moved to the US about 9 years ago to pursue my master's in creative writing. And it was here in the US that I then finished writing my book. Rea and the Blood of the Nectar is a middle grade fantasy about 12-year-old Rea Chetri, who goes on this secret and thrilling quest to find her twin brother Rohan, who goes missing on the night that they turn 12. With the help of her neighbor Leela, Rea and Leela portal to a magical land called Astranthia, and there she will discover dark secrets about her life. She will meet fantastical and magical creatures. She will have to battle evil creatures. And then we'll have to find out if she saves Rohan and the realm of Astranthia. And it's a trilogy, and this is the first book.
I love that cover. Oh, it's so pretty.
Thank you, me too. And I love that it's this, lovely Indian, South Asian girl looking fierce. And I feel like a little fearful also, which is important because that's her journey. But, standing front and center in the on the cover with like magic thrumming through her hands. It's a really important image for me too, and for underrepresented minorities to see themselves on the cover. It's so pretty.
It is gorgeous, and everybody check out these amazing vinyl stickers of the characters. How cute are they?
I love them.
Well, welcome, Payal. We are so excited to have you here with us on Legit Kid Lit episode 44. We'd love to start off by asking you a few questions about yourself so we can get to know you better. What are your top 5 must-haves?
Hi guys, so I'm so excited to be here. Okay, let's do this. My top 5 must-haves. It will be my phone, coffee, a book with a pen. So it'd be, I would say, well, I can scribble anywhere. So it would be like a book that I want to read and a pen. Maybe the very first one should have been my family as my must-have. And I would say a nice cozy blanket to sort of curl up into. Wow.
Those would be all of my 5 must-haves. That's awesome. Gotta love the cozy blanket and the family and the book and a pen and coffee. And your phone is a must.
Yes, same to all of the above. For sure. What have you been currently binge watching on Netflix or Hulu?
So I'm currently watching, with my husband, we're watching Shadow and Bone on Netflix. I haven't read the books. They are, I believe it's an adaptation of Leigh Bardugo's The Six of Crows and the Grisha trilogy. And I think I had entered adulthood, and so I was like, oh, I'm not going to read YA books anymore. So that was like that phase where I stopped reading YA books. But we're really enjoying the show. Really, really enjoying the show. So that's been fun.
So we hear you have a hidden talent you'd like to share.
So yes, I have I don't know if this is a talent. This is just it's a thing I do that I have found not too many people can do. And some people are like, whoa, and some people get really creeped out. But it's just a thing I do with my face, with my lips. Okay, this is what it is. It's so far I only know my mom and I can do it. Nobody else can do it. Okay, I'm building this up for, it's really not that special or great, but okay, this is what it is.
Yeah, I can't do it.
See, it is hard. I'm saying it's not a talent. I'm just using that word because for lack of a better word, but it's like I can do this.
I'm crying. That is such a talent, especially with your hands. Like, That's like a ventriloquist dummy of your mouth, like a puppet, I guess. Not
I will take all of the praises and the compliments for it. Sure. I cannot believe I actually did that.
That's what we do at Legit Kidlit. We dig out all the funny stuff from you. You say that you're a Slytherin with the heart of a Gryffindor. What does that mean? Why is this you?
That is a great question. So I am a Gemini, and I have two sides to me sometimes, and I think that I am very ambitious. I am very strategic. I'm fiercely loyal to the people that I really care about, and I have a very small inner circle. And I think for them, I would do everything and anything. But for the rest, I'm not going to go out of my way to hurt anyone, or, I would never do that. But it's just the ones that I that are very close to me that I am fiercely protective, loyal about. And I think, and I would do anything for them. And I think that's where my Gryffindorian heart lies. But, I definitely have a little bit of, like I said, I'm very strategic. So I feel that if I have a goal, I'm going to get to it. Not at any cost. Definitely not. I would never, ever, jeopardize somebody else's way to get to wherever they're going and, get in the way or do anything like that. But at the same time, I will make strategic moves. I have a bit of cunning. I can be selfish. But I am also, I think, even Slytherins are very loyal, and they are very determined, and they are ambitious, and I love those qualities. I think I'm proud to have those qualities. That's my answer for I'm a Slytherin, but a Gryffindor at heart.
I'm a Slytherin too. Not many people admit it. I have discovered another illustrator that we interviewed, he was very reluctant to say it, and he was very embarrassed or ashamed of being Slytherin, and he said, I haven't quite come to terms with it. I think it was Nat Awada. But I was like, no, be proud. I love it. Why do you think kids are so drawn to fantasy, or why do you think fantasy is such an important genre?
I think fantasy is fantasy is definitely an important genre, but I think the reason why kids are drawn to it is, and for me at least, it's the immediate escape into this incredible magical land. Just the idea of having magic and, seeing flying creatures and going on this incredible adventure. I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want that, right? So I think just based on the fact that it is fantasy, and you get to do these really cool things, is what draws kids in. But also, usually in a fantasy adventure, you get to be heroic. You get to lead an adventure, go on a quest, and you don't obviously get to do that in real life, and it's very empowering, I think, when you read, because then you become that main character, and you're going along with them. You're fighting against all the odds, and you're rooting for them, and you just get lost in this beautiful, magical, imaginative space. But then I think also on a more deeper level, and I don't know how much of that kids probably take from it, but I think I love writing fantasy because, I'm definitely a kid at heart, and I love imagination. And so for me, it's just my direct go-to. But I think fantasy gives writers the opportunity to talk about big issues, but balanced with adventure and a quest and, these fun elements. But you can talk about the power and the politics of a society. You can talk about good and evil, or even just good and bad. You can talk about important human relationships, which, exist a lot in Rea too. where I explore her family dynamic with her mother and her brother, and then her dad, who has passed away, but there are secrets surrounding his death, and she doesn't get the answers, and she is really bogged down with the idea that no one's talking about it. And while her brother, who used to be, her best friend, they were joined at the hip, is now 12 and now has sort of accepted this truth about their life, that they don't know too much about their father. No one's really willing to speak, but he's moving on, and he's more extroverted, and so he has friends and stuff like that, while Rea she's just building her defenses more and more because she's feeling more alone. So I can dig deep into human emotions and big emotions that kids do go through at that age. And I feel like middle school is this age where kids suddenly become hyper aware of the world around them. That's the age where you're like, what do people think of me? How do I look? Who are my friends? Who do I want to be friends with? What's going on in my family? Like, there was an argument, and you pick up on those, tones between your parents, and you don't know the whole picture, but you're starting to really see the world. You're like, I like to say they're like mini adults in making, and it's such a formative time in our life. I think middle school is the time when we lay the foundation for who we will become eventually as adults. So as a fantasy writer, I love that I get to explore deep, dark emotions, friendships, betrayals, all of those heavy topics. But at the same time, I can do it with these kids going on this adventure and just lace it in to this, wonderful, thrilling, exciting quest story.